The process of adopting a dog is never easy. People believe it to be something simple. However, it involves a lot of responsibility, especially if the animal to be adopted has gone through difficult moments in its life. Even with all the difficulties, some of the most incredible pets are the most challenging to raise. No one understood why Marley kept being returned to the shelter after being adopted. He had already been returned 11 times, and all his previous owners continued giving obviously false and unreliable excuses. It was only when the new intern decided to take Marley home with her that they discovered the shocking truth that was causing everyone to return Marley upon adopting him. Stacy was a dedicated veterinary medicine intern, passionate about helping animals in distress. She had been at the animal shelter for only 2 weeks when she first heard about Marley. Marley, a mixed-breed puppy of Labrador and Golden Retriever with a hint of Asian village dog, had an intriguing story. He had been adopted and returned 11 times, and no one could understand why. One day, while Stacy was at the shelter, Marley was napping in the backseat of a car. Stacy felt a strong connection with the dog, as if he were special in some way. She decided to take him home, determined to find out what was wrong with Marley. When Stacy returned to the shelter, the staff was eager for answers. They wanted to know why Marley kept being returned. However, the reasons given by previous families were superficial and inconsistent. Stacy felt that there was a mystery to be unraveled, something that no one had noticed. The truth was that Marley had been brought to the shelter when he was just a 3-week-old puppy, delivered by his previous family without explanation. Veterinary exams revealed no health problems, so the shelter believed that Marley was just unlucky. Stacy was determined to give Marley a real chance. She took him home but soon realized that there was something strange about his behavior. Marley seemed disconnected from other dogs and behaved oddly. While the family tried to integrate Marley, something unexpected happened. Marley disappeared mysteriously, leaving everyone puzzled. Stacy was determined to find out what was going on and to find Marley, even if it meant confronting a dark secret about his past. After Marley's disappearance, Stacy was determined to find the dog and unravel the mystery surrounding his tumultuous life. She took a week off from work to dedicate herself to the search for Marley, ignoring the various calls from the shelter that she had missed. Stacy began by asking neighbors questions, hoping to find clues about Marley's whereabouts. However, her initial searches yielded no results. It seemed that Marley had disappeared without a trace, increasing Stacy's anxiety. Desperate for clues, Stacy's family started spreading search posters throughout the city. Stacy's anguish grew as time passed, and Marley remained missing. She knew she could no longer keep what happened a secret and decided to call the shelter and tell the truth. However, before she could make the call, the phone rang. It was someone who had tracked Marley and found him. The person on the other end of the line seemed distressed and reluctant to share details. Stacy felt adrenaline rushing through her veins as she headed to the location where Marley was. Upon arriving at the designated location, Stacy found an anxious man waiting for her at his doorstep. He was visibly agitated and seemed worried. Stacy was intrigued and eager to find out what was happening with Marley. The man led Stacy inside his house, where she saw Marley locked in a cage, looking sad and disheartened. Stacy wanted to be angry with the man for locking Marley, but he began explaining what had happened, and soon she understood the reason. The man explained that Marley showed up at his house, and he hadn't seen the search posters. While he was there with Marley, his own cat approached to investigate. That's when something strange happened. Marley, who seemed like a well-behaved puppy, attacked the man's cat. The man managed to intervene in time to prevent Marley from hurting the cat. He then locked Marley in the cat's cage to ensure the safety of both. Worried about what had happened, the man called the shelter, which recommended that he get in touch with Stacy. Stacy picked up Marley, who was in a bad mood, and apologized to the man for all the confusion. She knew she needed to address the situation at the shelter and uncover the truth about Marley's behavior. The revelations of that day would shed light on the mystery surrounding the dog. Back at the shelter, Stacy discovered that Marley's previous owners had lied. Each of them had a similar story. Marley had attacked other animals, but they lied to protect him, fearing he would be euthanized. Stacy and the shelter team were determined to help Marley overcome his aggressive behavior, but it wouldn't be easy. The next phase would be crucial for Marley, as he would have to learn to peacefully coexist with other animals. Stacy was ready to face this challenge and willing to do whatever it took to ensure that Marley finally found a home where he could be loved and accepted. After the episode with the cat at the man's house who found Marley, Stacy knew she had to address the situation at the shelter and help Marley overcome his aggressive behavior. She was determined to uncover the truth about the dog and give him a second chance. At the shelter, Stacy shared the revelations from Marley's previous owners with the team. Everyone was surprised by the story and understood that Marley needed help overcoming his aggressive behavior towards other animals. It was decided that Marley would spend a few weeks at the shelter, where they would work to build his confidence and his ability to peacefully coexist with other animals. The team was determined to help Marley overcome his traumas and aggressive behaviors. The first weeks were challenging. Marley was reluctant to cooperate with the team and showed signs of resistance. However, the team was determined to help him and started introducing him to other animals in a safe and controlled environment. Gradually, Marley began to get used to the presence of other animals, and his aggression diminished. Stacy was present throughout the process, working tirelessly to help Marley overcome his past traumas. It was a difficult process, but with patience and dedication, Marley's aggression towards other animals was overcome. He was finally ready to be returned to the care of Stacy and her family. When Marley returned to Stacy's home, there was a sense of relief and hope in the air. Stacy's parents were thrilled to have him back and were determined to do whatever it took to ensure his well-being. The following days were a period of adjustments and adaptations. Marley seemed calmer and willing to peacefully coexist with the other animals in the family. Gradually, he became an integral part of the household and everyone's life. Finally, Marley found a home where he was loved and accepted. He wouldn't need to be returned to the shelter anymore. His tumultuous journey had come to an end, and he was surrounded by love and care. Marley's story was proof that with determination, patience, and understanding, even animals with difficult pasts can find a second chance in life. Stacy and her family gave Marley the opportunity to be a happy and loved dog, and he repaid them with loyalty and affection. And so Marley found his forever home, where he would be cared for and loved for the rest of his life.